Tory Prime Ministers this century than Doctor Who's. It's too much for me. And you know what? People accuse Doctor Who of going woke. People don't watch Doctor Who anymore because they go, oh, it used to be just men, and then they had a woman one, and now an ethnic one, and they switched off Doctor Who. The Tories are just as bad. There was a man one, and then a woman one, then another woman one, an ethnic one, a potentially disabled one. I was like, what's that? What's that, brother? Does anyone remember the Liz Truss era? Era is not the right word, is it? Do you remember the Liz Truss weekend? The Liz Truss happy hour, do you remember that? It was over very quickly. You know what no one mentions about Liz Truss? No one brings you up about this woman. She's got away with it scot-free. That woman, Liz Truss, right? She killed the Queen, innit? I don't want to be a dickhead, but she has to be a suspect in the case. Because what are the facts? The facts are, the Queen was alive, Liz Truss went to see her, the next day, the Queen died. That makes you a suspect in the case. Brothers have been sent to prison on less circumstantial evidence than that. Like, I just want to know what happened at that meeting, what went down, because I tell you what, she has the best CV of anyone in the history of this country. Imagine this was your CV, yeah? Become Prime Minister, kill the Queen, fuck the country, fuck off. Forget the post office, I won that ITV drama. Then she left, innit? Liz Truss the foggy, yeah? You know she ruined the country. You know half the problems you got in the country today because of this one policy Liz Truss did. Do you remember it? About 18 months ago, she did something, yeah, and the pound just went vroom, like a ski slope. Interest rates went up, everyone's mortgages got robbed. Do you remember this? Everyone was panicking about their finances. The news got us a little worried. I panicked. I'm not ashamed to admit it. I'm not bigger than that. I panicked. I remember that week, I rang my uncle in Pakistan. I was like, Uncle, can you send some money back, please? No, I've got a gas bill. Come on, Chacha. And then she left. This is the foggy, yeah. Now, Chacha's in charge. Uncle is Prime Minister of the country. And I'll be honest, I can't get my head around Rishi Sunak being Prime Minister of the UK. First of all, the entire time Rishi Sunak has been Prime Minister of the UK, to me, it's felt like one long episode of The Apprentice. He's got that real work experience energy about him, hasn't he? And I'll be honest with you, right? I'm going to say it, yeah, I'm Asian. I can't get my head around the fact we have an Asian Prime Minister in this country. I grew up in this country in the 90s in Blackburn. It's not unlike Birmingham, right? Okay. Not getting a lift home. It's not unlike Birmingham, parts of Birmingham anyway, right? And I'll be honest, in the 90s when I was a kid, if you told me back then there'd be an Asian Prime Minister one day, genuinely, I wouldn't have believed you. Don't shoot here. But it's happened, and I can't get my head around it, because he's not the only one, is it? He's Prime Minister, he's Indian, down in London, Sadiq Khan, he's Pakistani, he's the Mayor of London, massive job. Up in Scotland, until yesterday, Hamza Yusuf, Pakistani, First Minister of Scotland, until last month, over in Ireland, Leo Varadkar, for 5 years he's Prime Minister of Ireland, half Indian. It's too much. Like, honestly, I feel like this is not what my granddad came over for. He wouldn't have wanted to put that pressure on me, I can tell. I think it was easy for my granddad's generation, raising kids. My granddad had a hard life. He came to this country in the late 50s, early 60s to help rebuild the country after the war. But relatively, I think for him, it was straightforward raising kids, because all he wanted, what anyone wants, is their kids to be better than they are. He was limited in his ambitions by what he could see around him. So he turned to his son, my dad, and he said to him, Puttar, son, go out there, be the best taxi driver you can. And that's what my dad did. He drove taxis. I don't know if he was the GOAT, but he was a pretty good taxi driver. And then I think it was relatively easy for my dad raising me, because again, my dad wanted me to be better than him, but again, he was limited in his ambition by what he could see around him. So he turned to me, his son, and he said, Puttar, study hard, go to uni, get a good job. That's what I did. Studied hard, went to uni, got a good job. Packed it in for this, but it's worked out. But for me, if I have a son, I am in an impossible position here. Because I want him to be better than me, but I've seen the progress made in my lifetime. I'm going to be like, oh, listen, you're going to have to be king. Get out there, do what Dodial Fight couldn't. Go on, mate, go on, get out of here, go on. Cross the invisible line. I genuinely can't get my head around Rishi Sunak being Prime Minister, because I never saw it happen. So I have to reevaluate everything in my life, even incidents of racism. I look back at some of it now, and I'm not even sure all of it was racism. Like, I remember once this guy was in my area, and he was swatting off your mouth, and I was like, oh, you lot, yeah? You're taking over. Maybe he just believed in me. If anything, I feel like I've let him down a little bit. It's too much. I got married last year.
Hey, congratulations.
You don't know her? What, you like gassed for? I know her, my top girl, I love her to bits, but she's not perfect. And I say that to say that I'm not perfect. Of course she's not perfect. Of course I'm not perfect. Of course the marriage isn't perfect. But anyone in a marriage relationship in here tonight knows exactly what I'm talking about. You know that you're not perfect. You know that your partner's not perfect. You know that your marriage isn't perfect, no matter what you might tell social media. And single people, don't sit here smugly because you're not perfect either. Because if you were, you might have found someone. I love my wife. The thing is, because we're Asian, Muslim, we didn't live with each other before we got married. So there's only things we found out about each other after we got married, by which time is too late. It's a marriage certificate, not a receipt, you can't give it back in. So we're stuck with each other, but you know, things are good, but they could be better. I'll be honest. It's only been a few months, but things could be better, and I've made a list of those things. So here's a list of things that will make my marriage to my wife better. Number 1, let me fart in bed in peace. Just let me fart in bed in peace. Let me do a pod now and again, man. Who am I hurting really when I fart? It's like, oh, it's disgusting. Can't you go to the bathroom? I can't go to the bathroom 16 times a night. It's impossible. Also, every time I leave the bed, she complains about drafts coming under the duvet. Well, pick a side, either be cold or smelly. It's going to be one or the other. Which one do you want? So sometimes I ask my wife, I dragged her all the way up north. She complains about being cold every single day. I'm warming you up. Be grateful. That's the entire list, and that's the whole thing. That is the biggest problem in my relationship, is bedtime, sleepy times. Because I don't care where you come from in the world, I don't care your cultural background, I don't care what sort of person you sleep with at night. In every single relationship, there are 2 types of people. 2. One person wants to cuddle and snuggle another person at night. And the second person is a victim of that. Across the world, one person wants to suffocate another person to death, and the second person wants to make it to the morning alive. Every relationship, mine is no different, right? I like sleeping on my left-hand side. It's where I get my most deepest, most comfortable sleep. Also, I have to sleep on this side of the bed, because it's by the door. And under UN Resolution 786, I don't know what, a man has to sleep by the door in case a burglar comes in and you die first. It's the law. So I'm on this side of the bed, kingdom come. She likes sleeping on her right-hand side. Because she's a hugger, our faces end up pressed like this every single night. And as you know, Birmingham, there's nothing hotter, nothing warmer on God's green earth than your partner's face here when you're trying to sleep at night, breathing on you like she's Darth Vader. In your tears of Jahannam. I genuinely think, yeah, if Greta Thunberg solves the heating issue right here, 75% of climate change will be done. But what I don't understand is, her face is giving me hot blisters, but her feet are in Aberdeen. How is it possible? How can the climate be so different? It's 5 feet away. It's like the whole of Game of Thrones in one person. I've got dragons over here, White Walker stabbing me with icy toes at the end there. I tried being a bit slick, bro, because generally she knows off before I do. So I tried being slick, I tried turning her over in her sleep. You're like a doner kebab on a spit. It don't work, it's like a Jack in the Box, like, here's Johnny. So I've turned around every single night after night, turn me back on me woman. I don't like it. She don't like it. We don't like what it represents. But it's the only way I can get some sleep. A couple of weeks ago though, I got some free whitey points out of her. I started calling them whitey points and not brownie points. Because, no way. My logic is that now there's a brown prime minister, we should give something back to the body. Just, they can't do it every day like what I have done. So I've turned around this way. And for once, because I don't have a hot breath directly in my face, I've not